Why make fun of my bio? I tell people how old I am because I want them to know that I emigrated when I was 19 because that preempts many questions. And you wouldn't believe what kind of questions you can get. So I just want people to know when I came and all this stuff. I'm going to read 3 poems. The first poem I just read at my brother's wedding. It was a completely different scene, and I have to say, I hope that my brother isn't watching this, but I'm much more relaxed and at ease here. Queer people at a wedding, it's always a strange scene. So I wrote this poem after, do you guys know that Miyazaki movie Ponyo? It's an Japanese animated movie about, it's kind of like The Little Mermaid, but of course much cooler and more ecological, and it's about a goldfish who falls in love with a little boy, and he falls in love with her. The only way that she can remain a human being is if he is able to love her regardless of the form she is. So whether she's a fish or something in between or a human being, he has to be able to love her. After I saw this movie, I dreamt that my brother was in love with a fish, and so that his fiance was his fish. And I think that was like my way of processing marriage. And so that I wrote this poem about it. It's called About a Fish. There's a kind of poem in which you hold in the garden a red umbrella out against a heat storm of cicadas. There's a kind of poem in which you cry with tenderness. Your brother's in love with a fish with translucent hands and swaddles her next to his head at night. And you write, this is edge, this is real love, what it means outside a book. What kind of cell phones will they have when you're dead? How will people make love when you're dead? You want to know it outside the circles of control, the flat world spilling from the new marble countertop ocean down. It's like this. Back when we didn't have electricity, a face had a certain weight. New ones were whole planets entering that provincial ballroom. And if you loved a fish, you had to really stand by it, not click out of it onto others in the sea. This is the kind of poem in which I open a book and cry with tenderness over a perfect poem, the one that I can't write, that references Lorca in a new way. He holds a red umbrella out against a heat storm of cicadas, and a few lines down I meet my brother's fiancée the fish, and hold her lightning-lined jelly hands like underwater clouds. It hurts more, she says, to be in my human body, but he doesn't need me to wear it. I sip a cappuccino and gossip with her, and the whole time she shines like a kind of beginning. The poem ends with, "Oh, swimmer, crest on all those world-old tears." The point is, I'm learning to swim in my tears. The underwater meadow I saw when I almost drowned, that you saw when you almost drowned, still gold now, minus the fear. But I think in this context, the point of the poem is that fish are us, we are fish, we are the same being, not maybe even multiple beings. And the sooner we fucking realize it, the better for us and the fish. This is a poem I wrote on my lunch break. That's like the only time I can write during the day, so I like walk around Midtown like some crazed lesbian Frank O'Hara. This poem is about what's war, and when I saw pictures of those birds mired in crude, my first thought was war. It's a war crime. And so this is a poem about all the things that are war that we don't think are war, but are. War on the lunch break. What's war? You're not able to find the other dark pearl earring, and you don't really care, except that earring's your brother. He's dead, and there was only one. You'll never see him again. What's war? Eternal countrylessness. Lady poets writing about cock, not thinking about gender. My friends married in Vegas to good old boys or hipster drummers just 'cause they can, or when I contemplate starving myself so I'd be the bomb, or... I'm sorry I keep tossing and turning. My livelihood here depends on people who've never tasted war and act offended when one leaves work on time. Not that I ever lay hiding, dying in a ditch, but if I had, I think that I'd know much about dry grass, the incredible value of it. Just to see the stalks move would be enough. I'd like to have time to type this, but all day long they're looking over my shoulder. I do feel sorry for them. What's it like to care so much? Talk morning and night to a proctor god, tidy your toy box before bed, to get degrees, have interests. Is that the anti-war? Is that why I can't even read? I know there's war all around me, and inside there's war. Who died? Who cheated? When will she look at me like that? What language is this? I hope no one breaks in and rapes us. I never see sunlight. The sun in the yard is so contentless it almost heals. It is a series of chambers where I'm shown what I do have. Weight, electricity, a sense of balance. Can that be enough? I don't know how to end this. A fade out on the grass, a cop out. Something a sexy girl poet would say, like, the terrorists have won, kiss me awake. Encore, cock your boots, show us your boobs. I'm so fucking tired of the sound of sexy, of me being sexy, muse body with ship launch face. I can't read because I'm dying, that's the truth. I'd rather take in the sunlight like a dog. You theorize your own way out of this paper bag. What's war? This. I feel the sunlight, but I keep asking why. I found that writing angry poems is really pleasurable. It's much more fun than writing sad poems. Okay, how do you pronounce the word P-A-E-A-N? Paean or Paean? Paean. Okay, that's what I would think. I'm gonna mispronounce things, but it's because I'm ESL and you can't laugh. Otherwise you're the bad guy. I'm gonna read a part of Paean to Place by Lorine Niedecker. And the place was water. Fish, fowl, flood, water, lily, mud, my life in the leaves and on water, my mother and I born in swale and swamp and sworn to water. My father, through marsh fogs, culled down from high ground, saw her face at the organ, bore the weight of lake water and the cold. He seen for carp to be sold, that their daughter might go high on land to learn. Saw his wife turn deaf and away, she who knew boats and ropes no longer played. She helped him string out nets for tarring, and she could shoot. He was cool to the man who stole his minnows by night, and next day offered to sell them back. He brought in a sack of dandelion greens. If no flood, no oranges, none at hand, no marsh marigold where the water rose, he kept us afloat. I mourn her not hearing canvasbacks, their blast-off rise from the water. His skiff skimmed the cold celery now gone from these streams due to carp. He knew duckweed, fall migrates toward mud lake bottom, knew what lay under leaf decay and on pickerel weeds. Before summer hum, to be counted on, new leaves, new dead leaves. He could not, like water bugs, stride surface tension. He netted loneliness as to his bright new car, my mother, her house next his, a bird, a hummingbird, Can Hall. Anchored here in the rise and sink of life, middle year's nights he sat beside his shoes, rocking his chair, roped, not loop in the loop of her hair. I grew in green slide and slant of shore and shade, child time, wade through weeds, maples to swing from, pee-wee glissando, sublime slime song, grew riding the river, books at home pier, Shelley could not steer as he read. I was the solitary plover, a pencil for a wing bone from the secret notes. I must tilt. Upon the pressure, execute and adjust, in us, sea-air rhythm, we'll live by the urgent wave of the verse. Thank you.